So other than England's 5-3 win over Kosovo, that was another pretty boring international break. But thankfully the Premier League is back this weekend, so let's merge the two in this video and see which player from each Premier League club has the most international caps. Arsenal Mesut Ozil. No gunner has more international caps than Mesut Ozil, but his Germany career ended on a sour note. He hung up his boots following the disastrous 2018 World Cup, ending his career in protest after he was criticised for being pictured with the Turkish president, later stating he felt he was criticised because of his Turkish background, accusing members of the German FA of having racially discriminative backgrounds. On the pitch, Ozil made his Germany debut in February 2009, going on to win 92 caps in the midst of a golden generation that won the 2014 World Cup out in Brazil. Aston Villa Ahmed Elmohamady. Egypt's true hero is Mohamed Salah, but Elmohamady is the real mainstay of that team. The right back has 92 caps to his name and at the age of 32 will surely reach 100 before he packs it all in. Elmo is also the Egypt captain nowadays, scoring 5 times for his country and winning the Africa Cup of Nations twice. However, they were unable to win it on home soil this summer, losing to South Africa in the round of 16. Bournemouth Artur Boruc. The Pole had a 13-year international career, making his debut in 2004 with his final appearance coming in 2017. Boruc made 65 appearances for Poland, making him the highest capped goalkeeper in the country's history, and no Bournemouth player has represented their country more. In fact, there's no one that really comes close, with Eddie Howe boasting a squad that is largely unexperienced on the international stage. Brighton Matthew Ryan. It's another goalkeeper, which isn't surprising since a lot of national sides find a number one and stick with them for as long as possible. That's the crack with Matty Ryan, who has 56 caps for Australia, with his most recent coming in this week's 3-0 win over Kuwait, meaning he heads back to the Amex with a lovely clean sheet under his belt. Burnley Johan Berg Gudmundsson. Iceland have a strong core of players who have a big number of caps, which is why Gudmundsson is top of the pile for Burnley, with 74 caps to his name, which include games at Euro 2016 and the 2018 World Cup. For a nation their size, Iceland do much better than they have any right to, and Gudmundsson is one of their top players with his excellent work ethic and wicked delivery, and that's also why he's such a hit at Turf Moor. Chelsea Olivier Giroud. He's one of France's top goal scorers with 36 strikes to his name, and he's closing in on 100 caps. Appearing in France's win over Andorra the other night, Giroud won his 93rd cap for his country, and is by far the most capped international at Stamford Bridge right now, such is his experience. His international career began in 2011 and he led the line as France won the World Cup last summer, although he wasn't able to get himself a goal, but the medal more than makes up for it, I'm sure. Crystal Palace Wayne Hennessey. While he's been more in the headlines for an alleged Nazi salute that he claims to have known nothing about, Wayne Hennessey is Crystal Palace's most capped international player, making 85 appearances for Wales. His most recent cap was in the 2-1 win over Azerbaijan, but he lost his place just a few days later against Belarus. But this isn't anything new for Hennessey, he's no longer the number one at Selhurst Park either. Everton Gylfi Sigurdsson. We spoke earlier about Iceland's core of players, and there is no one better than Gylfi Sigurdsson. The playmaker has 70 caps for his country, which is more than any other player at Everton right now, which is pretty surprising and shows how long Sigurdsson has been the Iceland senior setup. Behind him is Martin Stekelenburg, 12 Dutch caps shy of the Icelandic great. Leicester City Johnny Evans. Considering how young Leicester's squad is, there were limited options to be the Foxes' most capped international player. But Evans trumps Kasper Schmeichel and Christian Fuchs with 81 caps for Northern Ireland. He's been their best player for a long time and will likely remain so until he calls time on his international career, but who knows when that'll be. His former teammate Aaron Hughes went on until his late 30s. Liverpool Xherdan Shaqiri. For all of Liverpool's talents, their most capped international player is a lad who can barely get a kick for Klopp's side, but is a Swiss veteran. Shaqiri has 82 caps for his country, having made his debut 9 years ago in 2010. He's actually a Swiss immigrant, born in Kosovo back when it was still Yugoslavia. Shaqiri is Switzerland's creative spark, and we all remember that amazing overhead kick he scored at Euro 2016 out in France. Manchester City David Silva. The City captain is the top dog at the Etihad, and the most experienced at club level and on the international stage, but only just. Silva played 125 times for Spain, just ahead of Chilean stopper Claudio Bravo on 121, who will likely catch him up pretty soon since he's still their number one stopper. But Silva was part of a golden generation for Spain, winning 3 major tournaments in a row between 2008 and 2012. Manchester United Sergio Romero. Now that Alexis Sanchez is gone, another South American is now Manchester United's most capped international. Backup stopper Sergio Romero is an Argentinian veteran, representing his country 96 times, which is a lot more than he's played for Manchester United, spending his days in the northwest as understudy to David De Gea, playing just 5 Premier League games since he arrived in 2015. Newcastle United, Ki Sung-young. Newcastle squad don't have a lot of international experience, but Ki Sung-young more than makes up for it. A former South Korea captain, Ki represented his country 110 times, scoring 10 goals in the process. His international career spanned 11 years, but retired this year so he can focus on his club duties. However, it hasn't helped him so far, with Ki starting just 1 Premier League game this season. Norwich City, Teemu Pukki. He's the top scorer and he's also the top international at Carrow Road. The Super Fin has played 76 times for his nation, with his debut coming back in 2009. He scored 20 goals for Finland, 10 of which came in the last year, which shows just how good he's been since he moved to Norwich. Sheffield United, Mo Besic. The Blades have the least international experience in the Premier League by the looks of things, and their most capped international isn't even their own player. Mo Besic is on loan at the Blades from Everton and has played for Bosnia 41 times, although he's actually born in Germany, which is why he started his club career there. Southampton, Maya Yoshida. A century of caps for your country is a damn lot, and it's achievement that Maya Yoshida is closing in on. The defender has played 97 times for Japan as of the most recent international break, captaining his side to 2-2-0 wins over Paraguay and Myanmar. Tottenham Hotspur, Jan Vertonghen. I thought for all the world that Hugo Lloris would win this, but it's actually Belgium's Jan Vertonghen. France captain Lloris has represented his country 114 times, but his Spurs teammate trumps him by 2, playing 116 times for Belgium at the heart of their defence, or at left back sometimes. He's had a 12-year international career so far, but will be praying to get some silverware next summer in what is a key tournament for Belgium's golden generation. Watford, Sebastian Prodl. The lad can't get a kick at Watford, but at least Austria still like him. Prodl has 73 caps for his country, but did miss the recent international break for one reason or another. I don't know if he's injured, but either way he's probably happy Sanchez is back at Watford, as Harry Gracia wasn't a fan at all. West Ham, Carlos Sanchez. It was certainly tight, but Carlos Sanchez is actually the best at something at West Ham. He's played 82 times for Colombia, finishing just ahead of 81 capped Andriy Yarmolenko, although at least the Ukrainian has a bright West Ham future ahead of him. Sanchez appeared at the most recent World Cup for Colombia and was the first player to be sent off at the tournament. And finally Wolves, João Moutinho. I mean, it was never going to be anyone else, was it? The timeless midfielder has played for Portugal 117 times throughout his career, and he still gets a game despite the plethora of young players they've got coming through. But Moutinho isn't the most capped player in the current Portugal setup, that's Cristiano Ronaldo, who just has to be the best at everything, doesn't he? So that's every Premier League club's player with the most international caps. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.